Hey, hi everybody. I'm just getting set up here. So for anybody who's tuned in, I do have access to chat. So I'm going to be here keeping an eye on this. We got, what was your name again? Isabel is standing in the background, checking everything out. So while everybody gets tuned in here, we're still waiting for people to plug in. So I've been working on this Star-Lord piece since Comic-Con started. So I'm going to kind of bounce around, work on maybe the base, maybe some of the elements. I've got just some blocked out elements for the character, trying to figure out the pose, those kinds of things, but it's not quite finished yet, so maybe we can go through this together, and if you guys have questions or anything like that, I got the chat with you. I'm just going to kind of talk out loud here as I go. So I think the first thing that I want to figure out is this base, which I do have, since we're working on Marvel. I got some quick Marvel text. The goal is to probably print this guy, but I'm really not feeling this base, so I'm going to probably go through and spend some time working on this. So you, with ZBrush Core, you haven't seen this feature, the Zmodeler feature?
No.
I'm going to show off a little bit here. So I want to do like some sort of base where I might want to do some extrusions, some bevels and things, which we can do with sculpting, but in a modeling sense, to kind of just quickly mark this thing out. Maybe I'll do something cylindrical instead. So Zmodeler, I can go in here, if you're familiar with just the polygon modeling tools. I got just that clean sort of base. Now let's go in and maybe insert an edge loop. Start doing some poly loop extrusions here. So this Q mesh will allow us to snap to those edges. And I might even just want to stretch this down. Yeah, that's a little better. So some sort of like cylindrical bust here, and then we can do like bevels, these kinds of things. This is where it gets really fun. So I want to maybe do like some sort of like sci-fi tech extrusions on the inside. I could do an inset, so I'm just selecting those faces there, and this tool is going to remember the distance, that shape that I just extruded. So you're just clicking and dragging up and down to get that scale, and I can now just click once and it's remembering that. So I can maybe go around and do some sort of like repeat pattern here. So then now I've got this purple poly group, that color group. So now I can tell it to extrude just that poly group. And I got that shape.
Then I won't even need mine anymore. What?
I know! It's exciting, right?
That's crazy.
I know. Trust me, once I got into this, I mean, we've introduced Zmodeler. It's been in a few versions now. It's been around for probably around the time when you got Core, you know, a little bit before that. But once we've set this up where you're doing edge extrusions, edge actions, poly actions, and point actions. You have 3 possible types. So each one, instead of going to menus up at the top and moving around, you've got this focused exactly where those things are. So you can even strip away the canvas, turn off all the menus, and you hover over the poly, hold spacebar, those are your actions. Hover over the edge, those are all your edge actions. And then point, that's your point stuff. And it remembers the previous stuff, which I only tend to use inserting edges, extruding, and that's about it. So I don't have to change the menu too often. Every once in a while I might do this inset. But I can now go in and maybe do that same kind of inset for like this piece. So I'm just holding the Alt key to click and paint. So, you know, selecting faces used to be, you know, Alt, click, click, click. We're just holding Alt, just like you would with a paintbrush. You can go through and paint across it really quick. And we can do that same trick, extrude with the poly groups, bring that in. Now you got a nice little shape. So then, and also one thing that's really fun to play around with too is you get those poly groups, which you can assign. So I'm just doing a little crease, so each time those poly group edges meet, you want to make those edges hard, so when I smooth it out, if you're a Maya person, you use smooth modifiers, right? You press the 3 key. For us, we're using dynamic subdivisions, pressing D, and you're smoothing that out, so it softens that up. But, which is cool. I think that's an interesting shape. Like if you're printing it out, you want to have soft, like sort of Star Wars-like edges. But if you want to make it a little bit more crisp, we can crease those poly groups. And now when we smooth it, you got nice hard edges. So it's just putting a nice little, basically like an edge loop, like a perfect edge loop. And then it's not creasing this one, we can just go and crease that. I don't know, what do you think? I think I like that better than the blocky base. Like, it's really fun just doing like little things like you can do a bevel, you can do a single bevel. Then we could go in and do maybe a bevel with, say, 4 rows. So we'll put 4 edge loops in there. Then we could maybe go do an extrude poly loop. Maybe do one there and do one there. So I get some extra little techie kind of edges. And then maybe do like insert multiple edge loops here. Extrude those poly groups. Let's just make some quick ones here. Now extrude poly group. I got some more like techie kind of lines there at the base. It's really, really fun. Polygon modeling never used to be fun for me. It was always like, you know, it's like, okay, I'll go do it. Let's just build the shape and let's get it over with.
Yeah.
This is like, it's very fluid and enjoyable, you know.
Yeah, I'd always have to switch between programs because with Core, and then I'd always have to do the OBJ things. It was kind of annoying because I'd have like both of the programs open.
Yeah, you spend time in one place. You want to be able to stay in one place and do all your creations. With these tools, you absolutely can. Especially with the introduction of Zmodeler since then, I don't have to go anywhere else. Most people don't. So doing things like weapons, block extrusions, I'll probably get to doing is sort of like Blaster here in a second. But then another thing that if you're a Core user and you don't have access to all the plugins, are you familiar with Transpose Master? So it's allowing you to pose. So I have all these parts and I want to pose them all together. So one thing I'm not quite happy with is it's kind of in the right place, but I maybe want to turn his head a little bit.
Was that the one that you drag out and then you like...
So that you use this, we'll use this Transpose Tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to do that, I kind of want to fix his pose a little bit. He looks a little rigid maybe fix his fingers, that kind of stuff. So I'm dealing with, I have 26 subtools and I want to view it all in one and pose it all in one. If I do it right now, like I've got the shirt sort of as its own piece, which I could go in, say we just go down to lower. Maybe I'll do a mask lasso. So I want to use this Transpose tool and I can rotate his arm. But the problem I'm running into now is I'm dealing with multiple subtools and all the parts don't move together. So what Transpose Master does is it's going to allow me to, so I can go up here, go into Transpose Master plugin, and I click this button which makes basically a proxy mesh. It makes a new mesh that merges all the parts together and puts them at their lowest resolution. So it gives me a version that I now can go and do this same process. So maybe I can go in and mask off his elbow. Just blurring the mask a little bit to soften up that transition. But you can use this Transpose tool kind of like a bone. So you treat it as like the starting joint, and then this is the point of articulation that we can flex and bend it. So I can easily just maybe straighten his arm back out. Or if we put this thing in the center, we can do, say, like rotations. That's kind of cool. He's a little bit more lazy. I don't know. Which one looks better? Is that too lazy? Then, like, he's got his, I have a dummy head underneath with this mask on top, so I can maybe go do just a quick mask over his head. Draw Transpose tool. So So the tool is kind of like our pivot point. So when I use this, I treat it like where the spine sits, somewhere in the back, that's the point where your head is rotating. So if you put this thing in that sort of center orientation, you can basically go in here and I can rotate his head and turn in that sort of way. So I can give him maybe a more dramatic. Maybe go in and turn his head. So then I just did that one action. Maybe let's just do one more. So I'm thinking like trying to turn maybe just his body or maybe move that part. The masking is very easy to just go through and just kind of manually do it. It's super fun. You don't have to spend too much time like rigging or making, you know, a complex thing. I could turn him forward. I could even go in and maybe use this to kind of rotate that way. I think I just want to do it maybe. So then when you're done, you go back and you tell it to send it back to the other meshes. So it's just going to go through and look at all the changes that I made to whatever parts were moved and just apply those to each object. So a lot of times, you know, for sculpting a character in production or like film or video games, or even toys and stuff, you know, it's easier to just do it in T pose or A pose because you get symmetry. But then eventually it's like, it's boring. It's not as fun, right? So you want to break symmetry eventually. So you like do it up to like 60-70% with symmetry and then pose it, and then you spend the rest of the time sculpting asymmetry just to go through and do this kind of stuff. And now this is where like I wouldn't sculpt wrinkles in clothing until it's in the right position. Because if it's, you can't really sculpt the wrinkle unless the arm's already moved. Those folds come in when you move. So if it's in T-pose, there's really not much going on. So now I can start to see where the folds are going to go and figure out how that stuff is going to bend and turn. And same thing for that cape. Now these kind of flex, I might spend some time here. Like you've probably experienced this with when you're 3D printing, you sculpt some details and you don't know how much that stuff is going to come out in the print, right? How much of those little details will pop. So a lot of times maybe you exaggerate those a little bit more. Like I like to cheat a little bit because I use the Matte Cap Pearl, which makes all the edges and things look really nice. But you can try like putting on even just like a Matte Cap Gray, which has softer shadows. So if those details really show up here, you're more likely going to see it in the print. It's going to come out better. But even using like the Matte Cap Red Blacks, like, it looks pretty good here. A lot of people use this to kind of figure out if it's going to show up or not. But playing around with just different materials for different looks makes a difference for sure. So you got extra stroke settings, this lazy mouse, which is really nice, gives you that nice little that tassel at the end of it to do nice clean strokes. I like doing that for clothing folds and things, because I don't have steady hands. I like to cheat as much as I can. remember the pinch brush. Do you ever use this? Yeah, pinch brush is great. I like to use standard to kind of go through and just lay in the stroke. Then pinch, we can kind of go in here and just tighten up that seam there. Just so it's not so blobby, you know?
What can you do without technology?
I know, right? So we're down this way, Kiana. Hi.
Buzz and Nancy.
Hi. Buzz? Nancy. Nice
Should have
to
done
meet you.
Buzz and Nancy.
I'm Alex. Oh,
Alex.
wait.
Yes.
Kiana and... Yes, they are. Kiana and Brandon are down that way. Sorry. Nice to meet you.
Alright, one thing I forgot is that marble text. So another thing that you don't have in Core that we can get in here is one of my favorite additions, which is deformers. So I want to do, yeah, I've got this marble text here, so I want to put that on the base, but maybe I want to do, like, wrap it to the contour of that shape and be able to bend it and flex it. So if we go in here, let's just do this guy. So I'm just going to extrude this polygroup down. So I got a little space for that thing to sit. Let's crease that. Now I'll insert that text. So we got that gizmo lined up right here. So I can butt this thing up right up against that edge. So if you go into the gear, we get all these deformers. So we have this bend arc, which basically gives us 3 points to rotate or bend that mesh along the X, Y, and Z axis. So looking at it from this bottom view, I can actually flex and bend this shape along that surface. And we also have like radius, we can go through and play around with like twisting effects, this kind of stuff. Then I can click apply. Now I just got that text wrapped off there nice and easy. Super clean. And if you wanted to, you could even experiment with maybe we could do a little Boolean action. So maybe I want this to actually cut out of the shape underneath. So we could turn on my Boolean, so we tell this to subtract from that shape. Now you got cut out. Maybe shrink that down just a little bit. So depending on the club, like this is a very sort of quick and messy text, but we could do like we have another access, another thing you get in the full version is you get text 3D, so we can actually go in and figure out a font. We could do marble. Right, if you find that marble font, you get a piece of geometry that's 3D text, quick and easy. We can do like little bevels for it, just adding bevel, and then we can go through and even just cycle through other fonts. And so it's kind of so easy once you get a piece of geo. Like sometimes you could do, I think this one I ended up doing with an extract. So I just grabbed a texture and I made a mask from it and did a subtool extract, which is cool to kind of give you that sort of hand-worked thing, you know, but when you wanted to get something really nice and clean, the 3D text work is really nice. You can even just kind of smooth this guy out. Just tidy that up. Do that other side too. And then to turn off live booleans, that's just a preview. So it'll just allow you to still have these. That was a suggestion from somebody over there while I was demoing earlier. And then Ruffalo hair. Messing around with fiber mesh.
Last night. Want to divide it? Yeah. Want to divide that?
Let's turn those guys off. Some wacky looking hair. Another thing I like to use brilliance for is I got a, you know, Star-Lord's mask, his character. He's got these like rivets that go in there. I gotta figure out how to do that. Which I'm kind of just kit bashing a bunch of parts, doing some sculpting, things like that. We could do this with topology and clean modeling, but it's kind of more fun just to organically shape stuff sometimes. We could do a little, let's see. Duplicate this one. Maybe a little topology brush. So I'm gonna make a piece of geo so I can get that cutout line. Just make one and then I can duplicate it across. So I might go in, let's turn on easy mouse. So in this tool, I want to build just a strip, an edge loop of geometry that I can extrude out and pull in. So all I need to do is go in and draw two parallel lines. So imagine these are going to be edges. Now when I go across these guys, when these lines touch at these corners, that's making a vertex point. So once I make four, I get a polygon. And I can keep going across. Off, and I can clear that thing up. So now, if I set my draw size to 1, it makes a flat piece of geometry. If I go back, maybe make it a little bit bigger, and I click, it's going to make a thick piece of geometry. So I like to do this stuff by hand, so I'll just make a flat piece. Let's do Subtool, split this thing off. So now I got that little strip, and I can go in with that Zmodeler brush, and I can extrude this out. So now I got a nice little piece that what I'll probably do is set this up for a boolean. So that boolean's going to allow me to do a subtraction for that on top of that geo. So I got some Dynamesh. This is a clean piece of geometry. I can combine all these different methods basically and just work freely. Whatever I need to do, I can mess around in any way that I need to. I'm not like only doing polygon modeling or only doing sculpting in Dynamesh or something else. I'm kind of using a little bit of everything depending on what I need. But the best part about this, having access to this, is now I could go in. The smartest of the crowds are cheering. Yeah, I paid those people. I'll check on the chat, you guys, in just a second. But I'm looking at this, so you guys know. Yeah, so he's got those like little lines and those little pieces. I'm gonna try and work that out. See what we can get. So it's going, like using the topology brush on top of this, is what's great about it is it's following the contour. So the direction of those polygons are kind of going along that surface. So I should be able to probably, so that's kind of going down.
I think so, yeah.
So maybe like extrude this polygon. And let's just do insert image here, insert image here. You see? They love extrusions. So that's kind of like dipping that shape down. And then let's go in here, maybe. Another thing I love about this QMesh, I can actually delete polygons like super fast. So if I click and drag this thing downwards, it's just snapping polygons. So if you want to just get rid of that whole chunk, just click and drag it, it's gone. You could do all these guys and just remove that whole section if I want to. Which I might actually do that there and then just go. So QMesh has the ability to basically gives you a step alignment. So when you go to this menu, you've got the align in 10th step, quarter, third, half, or none if you don't want any. But it gives you the option to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you can get little angles and things like that, which is really, really fun. And then maybe just mesh this across to there. Make that work. This. Alright, so then now I'm starting to get that shape in there, but I think I want to do maybe just a little bit thinner. I'm just kind of trying to crease these edges so I get some sort of like sharp plateau. See if I can get this thing working. And I can also mess around with maybe just moving some of these polygons. So you can click on points and just kind of push those down. Just extrude here. Bless you. Now what I might do is, it's kind of starting to resemble that kind of shape, but it's not quite perfect. Let's try something a little different. It's actually not as cube-like, it's more like soft round lines. So what I could do is just do no creases. We could just subdivide this as a soft piece. So just getting rid of those creases, it's a little bit more organic-like. And now we can kind of go in here and maybe just move.
Learning a lot of stuff?
Yeah. It's like, you could do all that stuff, but it's better than Maya. But you can just do it in there.
You can just
In
do it.
ZBrush?
She's excited. She loves this.
This is very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Should we leave you here for a little bit more?
Yeah,
love that you love it.
they get the wrong orders from me, so I gotta go exchange it.
Oh, really?
So you want to
Yeah.
stay here?
You stay here or what?
I don't know.
You'll learn a lot more.
Hey, look, I don't want
You
to take
learn
up
all
too
these-
much of your time. It's the whole con. But let me just show you this one more thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No, she wants
One more
to
thing.
Oh, we'll be
Okay.
back.
No, wait. Just
Okay,
wait.
wait,
Just
wait,
one more thing.
I'll
Anyway.
make it quick, I promise. All right,
When
so
I mean by quick, I mean 20 minutes.
yeah, it's only gonna be like an hour.
So
You got a
700.
fan here.
We got to figure out how to afford this $716.
Oh my gosh.
So it's not perfect, but I've only got one, and he's got like 7 of those pieces. So what we can do is let's go. Just reconstruct one of these together. So we can use a tool. This is something you don't have in Core, but we can turn on array mesh. We can tell it, I'm going to repeat maybe 8 times. Let's turn on transpose. And we can actually tell this thing to go in here.
One-time key. You need to do a URL on your
You see how I get this tool to be able to go through and move this stuff around? So I got my parts, and I can start to fan that down and get that subtraction going. Now, while I'm doing this with Black Booleans, all I gotta do is use this little transpose tool to kind of move that around. So we can do a few less.
I'm sorry about that.
So I passed by earlier and I thought this was really cool, so I wanted to come back with your camera guy.
Yeah.
Do you mind just kind of talking us through what you're doing?
Yeah.
We can like put it on our show and stuff?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, nice. Good enough audio? Okay.
Let her get audio set up.
Is it good enough? You sure?
I think our mic's good.
Okay, you can just talk freely.
You guys don't have to stay for this.
Okay, we're gonna sign up for the QRL thing.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Good luck out
Thank
there.
you.
And don't forget to sign up with the pin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, really quick, do you mind holding up your phone so we can see
Yeah.
what you're making?
See, now I'm showing everybody how bad mine looks.
No. It's a process.
No, just kidding. So I'm using ZBrush to do a replica of Startle. So right now I'm actually trying to figure out, he's got these little mech sort of areas happening in front of his helmet. So ZBrush has a lot of tools. We can sculpt this by hand. In this case, I'm just doing one particular piece and actually using this to sort of duplicate across and do subtractions with. But basically what we offer is a tool that allows us to essentially model, create, design, sculpt, build all the elements and toys, figures, that kind of stuff. So companies like Funko, Sideshow Collectibles, they use ZBrush to work at this capacity, sculpt and model. They basically have a team of artists that do this stuff all day. And they,
Interesting. So what's the next step? So after you do this, you put it together, what's the next step after?
so as of right now, what I'm still sort of working out is the kind of sort of final concept, the final design, trying to figure out the pose. Especially inside of something like ZBrush, what we get access to is you can sculpt with symmetry. So practical sculptors, people that used to do this stuff in wax and clay, you'd have to do something on one side and have to do the same thing on the other. So we get to do that with symmetry, and then we can start to pose the character, and then from there, some artists will go in and do painting. If you're working in, say, collectibles and toys, what you'll do is go through the process to 3D print, make a prototype, and then they go through mass production and basically recreate that thing. So you get that Lady Deadpool is all done inside of ZBrush by Sideshow Collectibles, and they've got a team of really amazing sculptors and artists that do much better than this.
So cool. Audio still good? Good? Nice.
Yeah.
So, just tell me really quick, I get a little personal, how did you get into it?
Oh, well, I had a dream a long time ago to go into film and animation, and somehow I ended up working in computer software. I wanted to be an artist in film, visual effects, that kind of stuff. I went through school, I went through the whole traditional animation pipeline, learning how to rig characters, learning how to design characters. ZBrush was kind of something that I sort of fell in love with at a really young age. I actually started in high school, and I made my way to LA, and I worked as a freelance artist for a while, and I connected with the people at Pixelogic, and I've been there ever since. So I spend more time now working with our developers and our team, very creative people to make the software. We spend a lot of time trying to make intuitive tools and features that artists care about most. There's a lot of technical stuff out there in digital art and creation, but we try and really make our tools about creation in every sense and let the artist choose what way they want to create. So we've got a lot of brushes, we've got a lot of customization, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's kind of a dream job, to be honest. You get to do this kind of stuff all day. So.
Wow. Okay, last question. If I were to give you a picture of me, are you able to make me a action figure?
I could, absolutely.
Yeah?
Doing likenesses and things, I would say that's a really... There's technology out there now where you can do a scan of you, which in a lot of industries, and say a good example would be like the Avengers. So the Avengers, they take Mark Ruffalo and they got to make a Hulk, right? So to do the Hulk, you could hire a sculptor to go in and do a likeness, but it's actually very challenging to do an exact likeness of a sculpture. It takes a very, very skilled artist that might have to spend 10, 20 years in sculpture. So yeah, I could totally do it. It might take a while,
right.
But it's a lot easier in the Mark Ruffalo sense. They'll do a scan of his face, so you get a digital 3D model. And ZBrush is used in film industries to actually, an artist, there's a great artist, Chris Costa at ILM, who did Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. They took a scan of Mark Ruffalo, got the 3D model, bring it into ZBrush, and then, you know, he's got to grow, his face gets bigger, they've got to rebuild all that stuff, so they use ZBrush to do all of that work, that basic recreation that you see to up until endgame, basically, which is, if you saw it, which I feel like everybody's seen it by now, right? It's incredible. They've got better and better and better over time, and they're using ZBrush to do not only just the organic stuff, but like the skin pores and the wrinkles and the really fine-tuned stuff that you don't necessarily see, but without it, it loses the realism. But yeah, yeah.
People, like, you know, as just moviegoers or cosplay lovers, we go and watch the film. We just watch it, and we forget what goes into it to make your favorite superhero.
But that's kind of the goal, right? Is we're supposed to, our job in the visual effects world is to not take you out of the element. You're supposed to be in it all the time. So you shouldn't notice those things. It should look real. So I guess that means everybody's doing their job.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. If you guys want to check it out, go to 10years.com. We'll put all the info on there.
Totally.
You'll probably just get a couple more shots and we'll be out your way.
Sweet. Thanks for stopping by.
Are you guys airing it on the station? Or are you putting it on?
Colin, pleasure.
My pleasure.
Really want to see it.
Great to
You
meet
got
you
your
guys.
contact information. She got it from you.
What's that?
You got your email from them.
Sweet, yeah. Send me an email. Whatever you guys need.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good con.
Thank you. You too.
ABC 10.
10news.com. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, I should probably check on the chat here. Sorry, folks. It's kind of busy here if you haven't noticed. I haven't even gone through this, but let's take a look real quick. Ooh, Dougie's in. If you're still here, Dougie.
Famous. Did you see that? They're filming you.
You're making me nervous. Smartest, thank you for all the kind words. New messages. Oh, hi, Ryan. Ryan Darling's in, everybody. I was actually just talking about you, Ryan. We actually had a student from LCAT here. Okay, so I'm gonna get this thing done. So I was kind of just going through and figuring out what the heck I want to do with this text. Still a little messy, but I kind of like it. And I think the last little element that I want to do here is, yeah, I'm kind of working this thing out. Just not quite there. Maybe I'll do this the old manual way. I could do that little remesh trick I was kind of just messing around with, but just to kind of get these lines in.
Okay, so that wasn't just packaged. No, last one.
I take and highlight, like let's say I pick the panel.
It's that curvature is just a little bit. You know, when in doubt, sometimes doing it the manual way is a little bit. It's kind of fun. Sub these guys up. I don't know, it's still too thick. Alright, I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to leave those as is. I think I want to start to, before I run out of time here, these blasters are just not accurate, so I'm going to have to spend a little time modeling these guys, which got some nice reference. Tattoo. His cape's such fancy. I would mention the guy who has his cat face. I didn't do a cat face underneath. It's a very unfinished version of him, which maybe I'll do that for the rest of the day. Once I get done with the stream, maybe I'll make a cat face. I'm totally just sculpting what I see at this point, and that would be fun.
Looks like the bust we're doing for Diamond.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Is it Star-Lord, I'm guessing?
No, we haven't done any Marvel stuff, just DC stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then that would be like, what's like the closest character like that? Does he have a mask like this?
We did Iceman.
Oh, sweet.
Iceman.
Do you have that at the booth?
I don't think we have it at the booth right
You guys have most of the Ninja Turtle stuff right now, right?
Well, we do have an entire section of the DC stuff, but we've done so many of them.
Oh, I'm sure. There's probably too many to show.
Yeah, we basically are the only ones that are doing their animated series line.
That's
so,
very cool.
Yeah, which is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so there's like no room for it.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
I can imagine you just print out like a giant banner just to show the images at the very least, maybe. That'd be cool.
We need to change our banners anyways. They're like 10 years old.
You got time.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't.
Alright, so blaster time. Bye. Alright, so you guys were okay with the cape. At least one person's okay with the cape, so I'm gonna move on. Let's get a nice blaster gun. So I got my Black Knight Star-Lord with cat face. You guys are going off about this. Alright, I'm gonna have to write these ideas down now.
You got 12 minutes, you're doing good.
Okay. Man, I only have 12 minutes left?
You only have 12 minutes left.
That's not enough time to do a cat face.
You started at 2:30, right?
Yes, I did.
3:30. Oh, you started late? Yeah.
Okay, so we're moving on to, this is a Nerf blaster, but I'm gonna use this one.
Go a little longer. Go a little longer.
No, you tell me when. I'll keep running
Now.
with this.
Right now?
Right now. Right now. Alright, so Master Blaster. Let's just maybe block this out. Maybe a little. This one's a little further back.
You need to go to the place and see the practice.
So it's got like that rounded top there. Which maybe we could do a little. I don't know how you guys do this stuff, but let's see if we could do the bridge connected. Oh yeah, look at that. So you got a nice little rounded top with that bridge connected. So we can maybe go so. And we'll just do a little points. Clean that up. And now I increase those edges and I got a nice little round tap. And then maybe I'll just sort of scale. So I can scale that down, kind of get that rounded out. You guys can't see my reference, but that little sort of soft taper down there. Actually, let's duplicate this one. 180. Okay, so the plan is after this. Black Knight Star-Lord with cat face. Chris Freeze. Will Pixel Logic ever add any pad features? I mean, never say never. What kind of CAD features would you like? I guess that's the question. CAD is, you know, there's a lot of really great programs out there in the CAD world that offer so much. So it's hard to say what we can actually do. I mean, we could do a lot of things, but we do spend a lot of time on creative, first and foremost. And if you guys have suggestions or things that you want, sending us feature requests, tell me in the chat right now, and I'll put in the good work. Alright, so I gotta do some kind of grip here. Try the extender. Extender's kind of sweet. It gives you this little, you take like a cylinder and kind of make a flat face sort of extrusion, which this grip handle's kind of got that sort of like going along this direction.
You both have higher.
Go and maybe scale this up, angle this. Also, one last little pro tip for people who are still in here. This is pretty new actually, but if you ever use the gizmo where it keeps the alignment with the object as you're rotating. So I want to actually bring this back to perfect vertical orientation, so straight up and down. So I kind of got this like little crossbar thing. So I can actually change my angle of sort of snap orientation. So when I rotate right now, it's going every 5 degrees, which I could probably get back to perfectly even, but I can also go into Subcribe, and so if we can go into misutilities. See, people love the snap angle shift with Gizmo. So we can set the snap angle to say 1, and we can click set snap. So now the angle shift is going every 1 degrees. So we might be able to get a little bit better with that. Something I've been using. Set some cake out. So now I got my parts. Almost done. I just want to use the extender to maybe do get a nice little sort of long tip. So using the extender is cool because you get a nice sort of step extrusion as opposed to, yes, I could scale this thing, but it's changing that sort of soft contour, which is like a little bit of the nitty gritty, but I like to use that if I were to keep stretching this. I want this to basically just reach out all the way across here, or actually in this direction. And I don't want to change that sort of shape. So extender is really cool for that kind of stuff. Now going in this direction, I'm shrinking it, so that's also changing that contour. It's not perfectly symmetrical, but I'll leave it as is. This one. Should be able to. I can actually probably get this back to its own orientation with this ball bearing into there. So I'm actually just going to stretch that.
Oh, wow. Topology Brush. show?
Let's bring in a cylinder here. I got some like barrel-like things to maybe get down in here. I am kit bashing to the fullest right now, which for me this is the most fun. Take that, bring this down. I want to give this a nice little border. So to do, I got two cylinders kind of just sitting on top of each other, and I want to extrude them both upwards to get a nice little, maybe sort of thick frame. And we could delete all these edges and just do a quick extrusion, but something I like to do. If you watch any of my stream, which it has been a while, but doing the group by normals, so now I get a nice poly group on these borders. So I can go back to that Zmodeler, maybe do extrude, poly group, just bring that one out. And then, oops, let's try that one time. Bring that one out. And I'll click once to repeat on there. So we got a nice little sort of border piece. And one little trick I might do here is maybe change this one. Actually, let's delete that. Insert a new cylinder. I'm going to do another extender deformer. And if I want to go back to that 5 angle, she set 5. It's not home page, she sets 9. I'm going to do a little extender action vertical. So now I can kind of start to frame this piece here, and stretch this out. Yep, and let's go accept, line. And I'm going to do some dynameshing here and just kit bash this, so I might just take this clip curve and shape it. And then do normals, increase that, to get a nice smooth shape. This in here. Maybe I'll bring this one. Mesh.
You're able to sculpt polygons and paint with it. You can do the core thing, the brush system, do what Solomon's doing right now, where he's kind of sculpting on things. That's good again. There's a lot of different things you can merge it. You're not going to get all of it. Quite a bit of it. And even what he's using actually right now is only available in the program. It's not available. Online. Yeah, because it's kind of basic.
I think what I'm going to do is, I don't want to mess around with my creases too much, so in the kit bashing sense, we could take, let's maybe go extrude, figure these guys up, hit control, break those off. So now I got a new shell. I'm going to make that its own piece of geometry. So just do it group of normals, piece and polygons. Just doing a piece for this. So now I can smooth this guy out. It's still kind of keep chip shape.
I've got artists coming up every hour. We got 30 minutes after.
stretch this one.
Our software is definitely a
We're
big
getting there, we're getting there. Alright, so now I'm gonna maybe, let's just get this hand back because this has got some more rounded shape. So I got like, you can see it, there's like some soft stuff smoothing, which that to me is easier to do sculpting. I can use Zmodeler to kind of block this stuff out, but then Dynamax to polish and relax and smooth out some of these edges. I just gotta finish up a few other parts. Sorry guys, I haven't been checking the chat. Glad everybody's still alive. Mike Martin says Zmodeler is dope. It is, right? You won't be disappointed if you don't use it. Hopefully you love it because you use it. But definitely check it out if not. Joseph Just over here did about 100 Z Classroom videos that are all free. They cover every action that you need to know. Chris, you're saying it'd be nice to draw sketches with dimensions. Yeah, that's a really interesting idea actually. I'm gonna put in the good word for that one. Gorman, you have a feedback document, but you have no idea where to send it. This is a kick in my own butt. You could send it to us in ZBrush support actually. So if you go to Pixelogic, support.pixelogic.com if you're still there. There is the option to do feature requests. I believe you can submit feature requests or submit a ticket. It'll come to those of us in development eventually, which will submit as feature requests or if it's bugs and things or whatever it is that you see. You definitely let us know there. But hopefully that'll give you at least an easy way to submit it to us. We will get there. So that's probably your best bet. Yeah, I used to work at Club Mechanics, so I know my boss was doing a lot of so that's how I found out. I want to actually call it Lou.
Are you what do you do right now? What program are you
Administrator, Photoshop.
Yeah. So that's all our world. You know, we started actually in illustration work. So we're the first program that allow 3D shapes to be used in sculpt on it.
We are
Started as what we call 250. So, and it grew into those 3D.
Extrude this polygon, break this off.
You had the ability to obviously go back and forth between the templates. We created things that you really wasn't given to your project and said, well, see what they want to do. And find all of that.
Well, that's amazing.
We do a lot of things like that. We're thinking more, we think more art. Like, if you're an illustrator, it's one type of artist. Then we got film.
Oh my god, like it.
Some of the USAs. There's a lot of stuff.
So it's I do group by normals, Control-Shift-9, crease polygroups, which is here, Control-Alt, Control-Shift-C. So my pinky and my middle finger get hammered a little bit with those keys, but that way I can just crease it and I get a nice clean edge. So when I turn on dynamic and smooth it, it's clean. So I don't have to do edge loops and that kind of stuff, which, you know, is just easy enough, but while you're working it, you want to sort of like do it on the fly. It definitely helps to, you know, step up your hotkey game if you're really getting into this stuff. And I do Control-Shift-U is remove and creases. So that crease, uncrease all, I do Control-Shift-U. So that way I can reset it if I ever need to. Alright, let's try it. So I'm going to go into dynamic, and I'm going to do apply for all these guys. Yeah, we can end it with this. I'll end it with this. I'm gonna dive into these guys and start to. Okay, give me 2 more minutes. If anybody out there cares, I'm just gonna wrap up this Dynamesh part. And, I'll be working on this throughout the weekend here at Comic-Con. So we've got a demo station where Paul, Joseph, myself are just working all the time, talking to people. So I've been able to get a lot of this stuff done over the last couple days and a couple more days of awesomeness. Okay, so I just applied those dynamic subdivisions, so I'm going to now do just a quick merge. So that way, I'm using dynamic, so merging visible is not going to, see I missed, those ones aren't on, so it doesn't, puts it back to the lower state. So we're going back to that gun, let's just grab those guys.
Automotive.
Now let's do the sub tool. Oh man, I missed a couple more. Suck again. Okay, so
it's kind of like Photoshop.
this one.
Use this one. Okay, so this is a full version of it. Basically, it's giving you the core topology brush, which is like subdivision level. You know, about 25 million polygons per day.
Almost on. Geometry. So I can just delete lower, which won't matter, but in this case I just want to go quick little dynamic. So by welding all this stuff together, it'll allow me to fix that extra part. It should give me the ability to now go in and I can start smoothing out those edges so it doesn't look so perfectly jammed together, so you get the grip handle sort of moving, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, our user base is pretty done actually. She's like, next week, so we have 3 options. Pay for it per month, pay monthly 95 fees, 6 months, or just buy a private license. So, and then because we're at the show, we're out there.
Almost there. Oh, my skin is very large. Don't tip with Dynamesh. Scale factors play a difference in Dynamesh resolution, which some of you probably know. So if your scene's really big, resolution at 288 is going to probably make this really, really dense. So it could take a while. But maybe I should let the other streamers go first since, no, I broke it. And also, I got some issues. But I'll be solving this guy here. So. But the goal here will be to essentially just Dynamesh this stuff together and start to smooth out those edges and soften up that grip, and then probably keep back some more parts and pieces. But it was a pleasure to do this with you guys, and thank all of you guys for your chat. I'm sorry it took me so long to get back to it, but I'm definitely going to take the Black Knight Star-Lord with cat face to heart. I'll try and post some images of a cat face version. But thanks everybody for tuning in, and check out the rest of the presentations. We got more coming up soon, so we'll be back here in 10 minutes or so. And I'll see all you guys later. Take it easy.